High Mountain remembers you. Remember the Earth Mother's lesson. Serve well.
Happening, troops. How's everyone this evening? Or afternoon, depending whereabouts in the world you are, I guess. Because in America, it's probably afternoon for most people. If you're in Eastern Europe, it's starting to get into night time. And for mainland UK, it's early evening. What's everyone been up to? I'll just clean my glasses before I put them on. I really should put a link for these for folk to have a look at. I'll add them to my kit list at some point. I keep meaning to do it. I'm not 100%, but I've cleaned them just right. Do little swirls. Little swirls. I think I've just put my big fat fingerprint on that one though. Right, I have simmed my vault rewards without actually doing any upgrades, so a straight out the vault scenario. There is a ring, champion ring, which would be an upgrade. But interesting enough, I'm stuck with this 4-2-1 ring as well. 9%, so without doing anything to it, that wouldn't be too bad. However, probably want to look at if we upgraded them, what would be the higher stake? Let's just do that a second. Yoink, yoink. I'm just doing max of everything a second. I want to see out of all the gear I've got, if we upgrade it all now, that's a tier helmet, so clearly that stays. We didn't pick up tier shoulders, did we? Let's back wrists. No. Feet, forward. So we picked up a 441 trinket, which is as high as it goes. We picked up a ring, which, if we just take that one out a second. So let's go back and redo this. Go Control V, input, and then let's go for max on everything a second. So is it, if we take that to 441, right, put, oh, that to, that can only go to 437, same with that, actually, take that out, that one there. So I'm trying to see as a comparison, if I upgraded all my vault rewards, what would be the better one? That one did. That one. And then that one. That ring, if it was upgraded. I'm concerned that the ring, now that shield is the same shield. 441. Ah, now there's an interesting part. So that shield is a higher shield to that. That's a hero shield. So let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 vault rewards. Right, let me now rerun that sim. I've looked at them. If I upgrade them to their max level, what one's going to give me the higher percentage? I have a funny feeling that this might be something I need to revisit after raiding though, because I don't think that it's going to give me much of a hit, with the exception of that one ring, which was 0.9%, but that's not really. I've still got a last season ring. It's the mythic raid ring from the first boss, which is a good ring, but I'm not convinced it's what I'm wanting to be keeping long term. I think that started to ferment because it was in my bag for a day. It's apple juice. It smells of a very weak cider as well. Unless it breathe, it'll be fine. Right, the vault reward's about to pop up in a second. Raid, normal, max level for upgrades. Run that, and I'll run the max level upgrade as well for heroic, because we will be going into heroic later this evening. You've got to be joking me, that ring is far better than a 441 item. How does that come into it? Where does the shield appear? Shield wasn't even mentioned. Because that shield can only go to 437. That one can't. That's already maxed out at 437 for my weapon. That trinket. So the onyx ring, which is better than any of the other rings I've got, That's nuts. Like, how can that even be a thing? If I max that, get down to that one was that. I want to see out of the rings if I take all of these up, at what point do I get rid of last season's ring? Because I find it hard to believe that a full season nearly, and that's still going to come out higher. Actually, when that was updated, it's only going to 437 as well. So I've got a shield that I could take that would go to 441, which would make sense. And it's the same as the shield I'm using, it's just higher. Versus that ring. Anyway. Let me go into Discord. I think most people start to kind of file in. Folk are forming up for raid. I need to update that at some point. I'll just jump in here whilst I get my final bits and pieces organised. I'm going to game. And I'm going to make my way out to the raid itself. Chuck out invites in 5 minutes. For those that haven't yet signed up, make sure that you sign up.
The Isles have awakened. Honor.
So, tonight's event. Back end of normal raid. Front end of heroic raid if we manage to get normal raid finished. Even if we don't, we'll switch over about halfway through because we're not going to keep smashing ourselves against brick walls if we don't have the healing power or the DPS or the skill set. We'll come back to it sort of once a week. It'll start becoming the Sunday thing at some stage. There is a couple of bits of gear off it that's useful for folk, which is why it's important, but most of the folk that's now raiding need the fragments from the higher content. They need heroic fragments, they don't need normal fragments, which is the real reason why we're moving up. Because if we keep doing normal, all we're doing is maxing gear that we've already maxed, or very small upgrades here and there, whereas most people have got the gear to move up and they've got the start of the fragments building up. They need to upgrade them. Or so the champion gear 5, 6, 7 and 8 is the start of the hero 1, 2, 3 and 4. So they'll get all the way up to equivalent of 4 out of 5 hero gear by moving into doing heroic raid, start building that up, and then it's just that last sort of push to be able to take it the last sort of fraction of the way up. And I'm pretty sure that the gear they get from heroic raid drops at, let me just confirm this, drops at heroic gear drops at, that's normal heroic 4, 2, 8, is at the start of hero gear. So this is then that jump and the bridge up. Because mythic drops at 441, which is then the start of the mythic raid. Yep. So this gear is hero gear, which means that you'll get hero vault rewards as well. It's all about progression. It's all about moving up and moving forward this season. My only concern is that there is some people that we've got that's a little bit behind the rest of the pack, that we need them to upgrade their gear and to move forwards as well. And there isn't really an answer for it because they just sort of need to increase their gear level themselves. 9 sign-ups. Who we got on the list? We've got me, Bragg, DK, Phil. Oh, that's the Warlock that joined in the other night there. Gibby, Lux, Shy, Senior, Omega, Stress, Senior twice? Why are you signing up twice? We need 3 healers. Ah, I know why you're signing up twice. It's for the cauldron. I know what you're doing. I get it now, pal. Stress, Frosty, and Slimming. Invite time. Convert to raid and invite some more. Right, if you start doing the summons, I think Omega and Zenir's there. I'll step inside. In fact, Zenir, if you just come inside, if you're watching, step into the raid, we'll do it inside. Same with Omega. Pop in, we'll just do the closet inside.
Shore up our flanks. I don't want any surprises from the sundered flame.
Civilian, something dark saps my strength within these halls. Can you feel it?
Right, Omega's in.
Nearly. Thankfully, our champions seem unaffected. Reason to stop Zarkovith. He must not be allowed to claim whatever power still lurks here.
You don't request to join my group. I invite. Missions in here. Ask him to pop inside. I've got raid notes up as well. Make it help summon. Portal up. Okay. Now I'll start doing this. So it's just DK and Seniors, and it's missing. Set that to standby. Swap. Just got to move to the side. I'll let you guys summon. I know DK will be sorting out the little one. Just got a snack bar. Not really eating today yet. I was out looking for some areas for kayaking, some landing sites and set-off points. I found quite a few actually. I found a few up along the coastline from me, not too far. Yeah, I've got some pictures of a couple of them. I'll stick them onto Instagram later on. I've got a really good one to show you here actually. A place that I stopped off, which you'll like. Gibby would give us 8. Swaps out as 7. Yeah, no worries in here. I don't know if she's listening to me, or she's on Discord, but somebody don't know. I was trying to take a drink there. Do. Right, that's running. That's doing its thing. Facebook's got a weird bug in it that's telling me that I've got a message on Messenger, but there's no message in Messenger. Right, let me... Right, let me drop down to the main channel on Discord. Start doing nominal role. That means you can mute me on your web page before I move down. I'll give you a second to be able to do it.
Join our group.
Shorts and t-shirts, that's what I've got. Do. Right. I did say I was dropped down. Right. Yeah, I'll stick the pictures on your Instagram later, Bragg. There's a couple actually for Zinniers to have a look at as well. And I'm going to try and link my Instagram onto Discord so that it lets you know whenever I put stuff up. Gibby, are you not coming tonight? Actually, 3 times you've declined the invite. Oh, that's good. Mine's is a bit weird. I've been running my Sims in the background there, and I'm still stuck with the ring from last season from Mythic Raid for the first boss on every sim that I run. I mean, I've literally just ran 3 sims and I've looked at using maximum amount of upgrade crests, so not even necessarily just the ones I've got, and the ring that's in the vault reward for me, which can be upgraded to 437, which is equivalent of a 4 out of 5 hero track, which is 8 out of 8 champion track, is the Onyx ring, but I'm still left with the Seal of Daenerys choice from last season. It's a 421 ring, but I've got umpteen rings in my bag. I've got what? So I simmed it with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 other rings. Now bear in mind you use 2 of them, And even at that, I still don't have anything that's theoretically better than the 421. Which actually is interesting because there was I seen a conversation taking place in game this afternoon about always go for eye level over everything. No, you don't. Like, whoever thinks that you go for eye level over anything doesn't understand how stat weights work. And Gibby, you'd picked up on it and you'd mentioned, look, pawn's good for leveling because it rebalances your stats, which is right. The point that the person was trying to make was that, oh no, you should go for eye level over everything when you're leveling is not true. Look, it's a really bad misconception. Because pawn takes into account primary stats and secondary stats. The one thing pawn will never do, and it's why we don't use it anymore within the guild for anything apart from leveling, is it cannot determine on-use items that a trinket has, or tertiary stats like avoidance, or, well, it can actually take into account avoidance and stuff, but it cannot determine on-use items. So if a trinket is an on-use effect, or having something equipped, like a tier set, it cannot for 1 second sim that. It can only determine stat weights, primaries and secondaries. Max level for tonight. So, yeah, and also run max heroic, because the plan is we do first boss, we jump to the back end of the raid, we do echo, we try and do the first, the very last boss. We'll do that to the intermission. If we're not getting anywhere with it, we're going back out, we're going back in to start progressing onto heroic. The biggest reason for it is most of us are needing the fragments that come from heroic raid now. There is no point in us going backwards because all we're doing is getting fragments and stuff that's not going to allow you to upgrade your gear. No, ignore the catalyst, but include all specs. That I did. Yes. Quite possible. Right, let's start doing the checks and everything. Is Phil here? So Phil, welcome along to tonight's raid. I know this is your first time raiding with us. Going forwards, you will need to download some add-ons. They're listed on Discord. It's up near the top. In the information section, there's a part that says required add-ons. It's got a little jigsaw puzzle next to it. First two off the bat is DBM and GTFO. DBM is a mechanics announcement, helps you with the fights, helps you to know when things are happening. GTFO stands for get the fuck out, stop standing shit, and it will play an annoying siren in your head until you get the fuck out the shit. Same for our loot, we use a thing called RC Loot Council. Because you don't have it installed, you will not be able to roll for loot, so you might want to get that one before we go anywhere. Everyone else is up to date on that. Method raid tools, say same thing, and that one's offline, which I know about. Weak auras, everyone's got it. Most people have got the raid one, with the exception. So the one to help with the raid mechanics, there's a link for it, and this is for everyone, in the resources section of Discord that says recommended add-ons. Go into it, there's a list of weak auras. One that is the raid call out. So if I miss a mechanic to call out for you, like frontals or anything like that, might help you to stop dying. I make this a good one for you, top tip. So you don't get hit by that front cone again on LFR. There's a weak aura. Please go and download it. It is called I've named it Raid Callouts, and it's the Dragonflight one. It comes up with a little bar on your screen, and it'll say when a short word description of what it is. For example, frontal, soak, move out, ads incoming, something to that effect. Okay, let me just check for the updated version. I think the guy might have swapped it over and not went back. Raid helper, no. That's co-tank. It's that. That is the right link. I wonder. Try importing it and see what it comes up with. It's either that or he's not updated the link. And yeah, so the website link shows it has been incorrect, but the actual download is correct. Right. So if people can please grab that, that will make life so much easier, especially now that we're going to be moving into Heroic tonight. Please grab a hold of it. In Discord, under resources, recommended add-ons. Yeah, raid call out. So the website will say that it's for the last raid, it's actually this current raid. Right, everyone quite happy with where we're starting and what's happening? Yeah. We'll get to it whenever we get to it. So first up, hills, yeah. Right. First up, Omega, can you switch to DPS spec for a bit? Right. Normal roll time, so answer up when your name's called out. Confirm that you've got everything with you for tonight. Bragged. And then move down to the raiding channel, which is Castle Black. DK. Gibby. Lux. Shy. Bell. Has he got a working mic? Okay, so you don't need to have a lot of them. It's just that you need them for certain fights, but good that you've got some stuff to begin with. Move down to Castle Black. Stress. Slimming. Frosty. Zenil. And Omega. Was a bit deflated. Aye. Right. Let's start clearing out the trash. Everyone also run their sims in the background. Max level for normal and also heroic.
Power
There'll be
infusion.
one dead already. Don't stand about and get hit by shit. Right, very quick overview of how this fight's going to work is you get a debuff on you and you go and place it to the left hand side of the room as we look at it. I'll put markers out while she's running about.
Ancestral guidance.
Big guy come with us? Yeah, it is. So you get the debuff on you, you put out the big swirly, go and stand at the side, drop it off. When you get chased by the beam, take the beam towards and through the big swirly. This is going to be very important because when we come back in here for the second half of the evening, we're doing this on heroic, you must take it through the big swirly. Leave a gap when you put the swirly on the ground before dropping the next lot in front of it. And the reason that you need a gap is so that you can actually run around the big swirlies to get into them. Last major mechanic, avoid the front cone, don't get hit by the shit on the ground. Everyone happy? Alright, here's the feast. Whoever explains the tactics does the feast. I mean, it depends. You got to do it this time. On LFR, you didn't. No, you didn't. Every one stack. Thanks, what? Is it one stack or is it 4 stacks? Every one stack. Right, let's do a ready check. Remember, if it's got a little icon that's missing, it means you're missing an item. So the first one is food, second one is flask, next one's temporary weapon enchant, the next one we don't need for this fight, and then the last one is cookies. I mean, we've got 2 warlocks and no cookies. Yep. Right, so you are all going to place things over at those markers that you can see at the side of the room. Is MD confused at what you need to place at the side? Leave a gap between the drops so that we start to move from left over to the right hand side of the room. Don't try and place it around the sides. Place it on the markers, leave a gap, place the next ones, leave a gap, place the next one, so on and so forth. Bloodlust on pool. Just try to find our markers. There we go. Everyone into the room. I'm actually going to pull it round and through.
Five, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Defensive.
Power infusion. Taunted.
Bloodlust.
Bloodlust.
So put the markers at the back.
Pushback incoming. Ancestral
Mana
guidance.
So kite those beams through the
Watch your
puddles.
step.
Watch your front cone as well.
Watch your step.
And there's got to be an AoE point or ship coming out. Don't stand in the shade.
Ancestral guidance.
Defensive.
Oh,
Taunted.
drop the beams at the back. Leave a gap if you put it in
Pushback
front.
incoming.
They're not back. Don't stand in the shit. It'll hit you.
Watch your step.
Take them into the circles.
Healing tide.
Watch your step.
Frontal.
Defensive.
Swap.
Taunted.
Drop them just in front of the last lot of puddles. Pull it forward a bit.
Healing
Pushback
tide.
incoming.
Pull forward. Get a bit more space at the back.
Watch your step.
Cone.
Watch your step.
Shed these
Power
wings.
increase.
Defensive.
Swap.
Taunted.
Pushback incoming.
Not back. Take them through the circles.
Watch your step.
Don't let it hit you, it will destroy you. Don't use immunities to try and outplay it. Play the mechanics properly, Frosty.
Defensive.
What?
Taunted.
Pushback in.
Ancestral guidance.
And pull them forward a bit. A bit more space.
Mana tide.
Watch your step.
Frontal.
Defensive.
Swap.
Pushback incoming.
Taunted.
Finally, its grip weakens. Dishonoured wields some power that can tear at our minds.
So Omega, you never used in heal potions or cookies up before you died.
Sinister. They sent
Right.
now that my
Time for loot.
arrived, we can
So
ensure no
make sure
outsider
that you
claims
check
what is
what you
really
actually need. If you don't need it, click pass. If it's a transmog item, put transmog, so on and so forth. This is normal, so check your normal drop optimizer. For healers, I forgot to mention this, you need to put in, you need to run it as a, what is it in your top gear? No, you can manually type the name of it in the the search bar at the top. Stress, you needing the weapon? Polearm, transmog item. Same with trinket. Yes, it can be upgraded to 8 out of 8, which is 4 out of 5. Yeah. Stress, are you there? You need to remember it's a push to talk channel as well on here. You need to set a push to talk key. Okay, so that goes to you. You need to come into range with me in order to get things. Right, everyone make sure that you've repaired before you go anywhere. If you want to be doing any upgrades, you can quickly grab it from the guy on the right hand side as well. Let me... Right, how does the skip work from this point? Have you worked out yet? Well, I was able to click on the flyer on the ground. So I'm just wondering if that will allow me to open that bit below me. Let's go down, we'll find out. No, you jump down into the lava, do a 180, and then start swimming back. It's the little drain cover on the ground, you click it and it opens the grate. Yeah. Yay! And then you can jump down. You will take fall damage if you've got immunity spells or something, use it. Right, we're not pulling the full room because they end up with banners and become reinforced and it just becomes a nightmare. Once everyone's down. Let's do this lot first. Right, most of you
Power infusion.
have seen this fight. We done it last week. It is 6 attempts before we got it, but we got it. For anybody that hasn't been here, I'll get used to stand at the side in a second. We'll do a quick head count. Just one's dead. Right, if you've done this fight and completed the fight, stand at the skull. If you've not done this fight and not completed it, stand at the red marker, and it's the floaty skull, not the other skull. So that goes for everyone. If you've not done the fight and you've never seen it, over at the red marker. If you have done it, you have completed it, stand at skull. Well, I don't believe you've done it. I could be wrong, but it's not tracking that you've done this fight. Right. the basic thing that's going to happen is that the room will become divided by walls. Oh, it's on your warrior. It's because you've not linked them on Raider.io as a joint account then, mate. Your Raider.io scores and everything's lower because it's not tracking your main. Or tracking your warrior. So there's going to be walls get put up around the platform. The only people that should smash through the walls is the tanks. Everyone else hits the main structure walls. When you get a little arrow above you, pointing on you, place your back against the outer solid structure walls. That's the first important mechanic that happens on phase 1 and phase 2. I don't really care about phase 3 with that one. We'll get to it in a minute. So in phase 1, the boss gets pulled over to the right hand side of the room as we look at it. Tanks pull him in, we all congregate. You must be stacked in one spot, otherwise you'll get trapped away from everyone else. We go through the wall as a tank, the tanks will swap. A few seconds after the first tanks went through the wall is when the big ring comes around it. We'll go with Shy on the first time for using your Stampede and Roar. We'll then go with who's got the Lux for Windrush Totem on the second time for moving out, and we'll swap backwards and forwards between the two of you tonight. So Windrush Totem for the second one, Stampede and Roar on the first one. The other mechanic that's going to happen is a big circle around individual players. 2 people get marked up. Those 2 must go and stand outside the rest of the group. The rest of the group needs to be hugging the boss at all times, because you must stay out of the ring and you need to give space for people with the ring. We then move the boss from the right hand side of the room all the way around and we end up over the left. Depending how well we're doing DPS, we either finish over at the 9 o'clock, which is over to the left, or the 6 o'clock where we are. Phase 2, 3 big ads spawn in. 1 at 3, 1 at 6, 1 at 9. We make our way through them. The tanks must run through the wall in order to break a path, which you get invised through the wall, you get translucent, you can go through it, and then it breaks. We then move round. The boss must be kept on top of the ad. You focus the ad, everyone focuses on the ad to get it down, and then we move the boss. The ads are the important part in phase 2. On phase 3, there's going to be, the wall will start to decay and purple swirlies appear on the floor. 1 person into 1 purple swirly. If we put 1 into 1, it absorbs them and we do not get ads spawning out of those circles. This becomes a DPS race. The more ads that pop up, we then bloodlust sort of a little bit into phase 3, not at the start, because the more ads that appear, because people have died off by that point, the harder the fight becomes. That's the point we need bloodlust. Zanir, you're in charge of bloodlust for this fight. Yep. And then that's it. It's just rinse, repeat. Move into the purple swirlies. Soak it. Move out of it, not to take damage. Cleave down the ads by focusing the boss, because it's the priority thing. And then we just keep going. Is everyone quite happy at that? Yeah, at this point you can start to spread out. The tanks will start to move the boss in towards the centre, but so that we don't hit walls, because when we hit the wall, you'll take damage. So try and use your mitigations whenever you know a tank's about to hit a wall. You'll normally hear us shout and swap or something anyway. Or you'll see a tank getting catapulted across the room. For those that haven't done the fight, are you quite happy with how that works? Yep. No, not really.
Power infusion. Soon.
So that's like a big ring. Everyone runs out it. Banners need to go, by the way. Two them up. If we don't get the banners down, they become reinforced, they become difficult to hit. Kill the banners, not the group.
Spirit Link.
Hands run. Lux, you're out of range of me.
Ancestral Guidance.
Let me put the markers where I want them for the fight. So there should be an ad that spawns in there, ad that roughly spawns about here, and there's a stat point for starting and where the other ad is roughly there. It's not exact, but it's roughly those areas.
It's too far away.
Bring these in a small group. Go out the big circle on you. Go with the group. See them not work on you then, yeah. Go out the big circle. Or you got to put everybody to sleep. That's me to sleep for the next 18 seconds. You need to be quicker at going out with circles and stuff. As soon as it comes up and it's on you, move out. We're going to kite our way back towards the door because whenever these spawn in, or the boss spawns in, he will stun us all. He'll talk shit for a few seconds.
Power Infusion. Tranquilizing Shot. Spell Reflection.
Right, what about RP? So, first phase, you just get a marker above your head, put your back solidly against a wall, don't leave a gap to get thrown into it, move out, put your back against the solid structure wall. That way there's no accidents. Swirly around you, move to the side, away from the group, drop the swirly. Big fire ring comes, run out of it. We are going to move towards where the boss is from the yellow marker. So we go from the yellow marker up to where the boss is. And then we kite it round, leaving the fire debuff around the outer edge. Hopefully we finish somewhere round about the skull. If not, we push down to where the X is for phase 2. You must stack close to those markers between each of the phases, or you will be trapped away from the rest of the raid, and you'll be isolated and will be left to die. Phase 2, you get the marker on you, you place yourself against the wall, you keep DPSing the big ads, the tanks go through the wall by running off early, destroying a small gap, we then kite through it. We keep moving counterclockwise around the room. Phase 3 becomes a DPS race. If you haven't already done so, your talent builds for this should very much be an AoE talent build, because phase 3 there's going to be lots of ads coming in. I don't. You probably could use the stuns actually on the ads periodically. I mean, we've got 2 warlocks that can do AoE stuns as well. There's also Entangling Roots, not a stun, Psychic Scream. Yeah, we should be okay. Although Slemmon's the only one that's talented for the AoE stun. Right, everyone onto the yellow marker. That's our form-up point. Has anyone got any major questions before we go for this? You only eat up. You should have food in your bag. Yous all stay here. I will pull the boss back to this location. Otherwise, you'll get trapped and isolated.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Everyone stays in.
Power infusion.
Right, so now we don't break any walls as tanks because somebody just smashed it for me.
Defensive.
Whoop. Yep, pull them into their corner.
Taunted.
Take them all the way up to the back corner. Keep going, all the way up.
Ancestral
going.
guidance.
Everyone out.
Stampeding
Run round
roar.
the back of the wall that's been smashed. And we've lost people already. Let's wipe it. Well, just go and stand in the fire and wipe and die.
Distance is over.
Taunt boss.
Did you really believe there would be any...
Right, who wants to admit to hitting the wall? I mean, everything's accidents, but put your back against a solid structure wall and it doesn't become an accident. I did call out Frosty that we're having to change direction. Should all be stacking over towards the yellow marker. You've got 5 minutes or less on your flash. You'll need to use a second because the fight will last longer. So Omega.
Five, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Power infusion.
Defensive.
Oh, pull him into the corner.
Taunted.
Everyone else get ready to move this way.
Run.
Move out.
Stampeding roar. Ancestral guidance.
Not as far. Bring him over a bit. Kite him round and circle him back. Need to draw him back into the room.
Mana tide.
I mean, it's really difficult for me to pull him in.
Taunt boss. Run.
Everyone out. Everyone stay in the healing circle.
Ancestral guidance.
Defensive.
Swap.
Taunted.
Everyone get ready to run out.
Run.
Move.
Stampeding roar. Healing tide. Healing tide.
Watch your step.
Power infusion.
Right, everyone stack out the red marker.
Phase 2.
Everyone on the red. Get me moved back.
Spirit link.
Everyone go for the ad.
Taunt boss.
DK, you were meant to go through the wall so that we can break through it. We've got to miss it.
AOE incoming.
Ancestral guidance.
Now we need to just hold up a minute. I can move through in a second.
Defensive.
Taunted.
You just can't come through just yet, you need to wait. Now come through. All the way round to the ad. Because we debuffed
AOE
it at the side.
incoming.
Ancestral guidance.
Taunt
through the wall.
boss.
Fine.
AOE
Everyone
incoming.
round to the last ad.
Stampeding roar.
Everyone stack at the ad.
Defensive.
Taunted. Mana tide.
Right, as soon as this ad's down, then we move into phase 3, which is soaking the
AOE incoming.
ads,
Phase 3.
and we want to hit the outer wall now. Everyone should be trying to hit the outer wall.
Power
Pull him in a bit.
infusion.
Pull him in. He's on the wall. It's because he's targeted. Everyone stack in at the boss as we pick up the ads.
Taunt boss.
Ready to run and soak.
Find shelter.
1 for 1.
Stampeding roar.
You need to be on it or you'll die.
Healing tide. Healing tide. Ancestral guidance.
Defensive.
What?
Taunted.
Find shelter.
Everyone on your circle. Yep.
Ancestral guidance. Spirit link.
I need some.
Defensive.
No, I'm dead.
Is over.
Find shelter. Find shelter.
Right, I need to wipe it. You need to try and drag the boss back into the centre after the first set of walls goes.
Other
Has anybody got any questions on what we're trying to do now? So you stand in the big purple swirly, one person to one purple thing, then we don't end up with extra ads spawning. Only the ones from the decayed wall that we get. Cheers now. Remember, you can also use combat potion twice in this fight. Use one on pool, and you can use one with my bloodlust towards the end.
Five, four, three, two, one.
Ancestral guidance. Power infusion.
Mega, that be you hitting the wall again.
Defensive.
Stop. Now, I'm going to go
Taunted.
this way.
Run.
Everyone move out.
Stampeding roar. Healing tide.
Try not pull yourself just as far forward, because I need to be able to pull them all the way back.
Mana
now.
tide.
Taunt boss. Run.
Everyone out.
Ancestral guidance. Spirit link.
Whoever's get debuff, move out.
Defensive.
Taunted.
Run.
Stampeding roar. Healing tide.
Don't hit the wall. We're going to stop at this point.
Ancestral guidance.
Watch your step.
Power infusion.
So the ads should start to spawn in down
Phase
here.
2.
We'll swap to the ad. You get ready to run through the wall whenever it starts targeting you. Yeah.
Taunt boss.
You need to be through the wall for it to actually count.
AOE incoming.
Kite it round. Next ad.
Defensive.
Taunted.
So you run the line all the way through the wall.
AOE incoming.
Spirit link.
Everyone come in close to the ad. Once you've got a debuff, put yourself against the wall. Use your life because I need DPS. All the way around, mate.
Taunt boss.
Stampeding roar.
AOE incoming.
Healing tide.
Everything on to the last ad. Hope with debuffs, put yourselves against walls. Even if you're melee classes.
Defensive.
What?
Phase
Taunted.
3.
Right, everyone come in close.
Ancestral guidance.
Just don't stand in the shit that's falling. Move back a bit.
Mana tide. Power infusion.
Just stand behind the tank so that you just get thrown into main walls. ET's going first.
Taunt boss.
Ready to go and stand in the purple swirly.
Find shelter.
Stampeding
one.
roar. Ancestral guidance. Spirit link.
Everyone come in.
Defensive.
Swap.
Healing tide.
You need to take the boss off. Mate.
Taunted.
Find shelter.
Purple swirlies. Move them into the middle more. Yeah, so that we're close to the next lot of purple swirlies. Bloodlust.
Bloodlust. Bloodlust.
Second combat potion.
Taunt boss. Find shelter.
Purple swirly.
Stampeding roar.
Remember, use your mitigation, use your healing potions.
Defensive.
Swap.
Taunted.
Find shelter.
Purple swirly.
Spell reflection.
Yeah, DK, you need to bring it more into the middle because these purple swallows are far out.
Spirit link.
Everyone just focus on the boss, not the ad.
Defensive.
Healing tide.
Right, there we go. Still needing a bit of brush up. Folks' gear's a bit low, so the folk that mostly dies, your gear's a bit low for this fight still. Right, so this is tier sets for shoulders. Has everyone got the Droptimizers run? So, so as you're aware, we use Droptimizer to find out percentages of upgrades. It's not a I need or this is an upgrade for me. It's based on actual percentages so that we can know who's getting what. However, you're the only person that needed that item, so you can have it tonight. But bear in mind, going forwards, you must run Droptimizer and it will tell you the exact percentage so that we can allocate loot evenly and fairly, and the biggest upgrade to progress forward goes to them. And nobody for the super rare trinket then? Ah, it's auto pass for some people. Why did it auto pass? RCLC. Yeah, but I turned that off. Right, so the people that is auto passed on it is because your settings for RC loot council has determined that you will auto pass. So if you type /RCLC space config, the very first set of options, the group of 6, there's one that says auto pass trinkets and auto pass. Make sure they're unticked. So the people that I know for a fact that's potentially got that is Slemon, Lux, DK, Fel, Frosty and Stress. Does everyone see it? /RCLC config. And I'll put it into. So /RCLC config. Yeah, Phil, Droptimizer on raid bots. And most of our sims are all run as dungeon slices because we want to try and push into higher keys because we can get more out of keys later on, and you get more people doing keys just now. Until we start hitting the back end of heroic raid, then yeah. So whenever I hand out the sync for all users the other day there, and he's all said, "Yeah, I've got it." You haven't. Just Brags wasn't loading. Right. Quick run over of the settings then. For those that haven't got my settings, which is Slemon, Lux, DK, Fel, Frosty and Stress. Open up RC Loot Council using /RCLC config. along the top row, you should have it selected as active, unticked, unticked. The middle section, the only two that should be selected is silent auto pass and guild groups only. The bottom one, everything should be ticked and it sends to log. Everyone got that? So the only two things that should be selected in the middle section is silent and guild. Everything else should be unticked. So nothing in auto pass, untick auto BOEs, auto pass for trinkets should be unticked. And we'll not worry about the rest of the options because it's more if you're actually using it to hand out loot. Now I'm just interested in this part. Right, let me just re-announce this item. So, Fel and DK, you'll need to do a reload of your UI first. Make sure you also close down the RC Loot Council main panel. Did it come up for everyone? Right, hang on, let me just redo it. It should only been that first, that last item. That one's done. Senior, you get that. Right, I'm assuming it's only you, Slime, that actually needs it because no one else has put notes in. Yeah, it's just you're the only one that's put a note in. Right, I hope you've all learnt the tactics for the last boss because one of yous will be doing it. We'll clear out the trash first. And we'll do it in a minute, give it. Everyone make their way down.
Spell reflection. Power infusion.
Does it say why?
Ancestral guidance.
JB,
Spell
is it
reflection.
any good to you? And so, Warrior, Paladin, Mage, DH, and Evoker. So I'm the only other one that could have used it, and I'm pretty sure it's a downgrade for me. 0.8. I'll just take it in D at me.
Spell Reflection.
Empty kick.
Healing Time. Spell Reflection.
Watch all.
Spell Reflection. Power Infusion.
Watch all.
Dancing phase. Right, everyone just wait here, do not go onto the platform. Right, here comes the fun part. Find out who's going to do the tactics. Everyone does /roll. Lowest roll gets to do it. Oh, look at Shy. Maybe we should get you to do it for getting so high. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 10, 11. Right. We're going to split into 3 people, so the 3 lowest gets to do 1 phase each, because there's 3 phases, and it is quite a lot to take in. So, Zinir will be doing phase 1. Bragd will be phase 2. And Slemon, no. Slemon, if you do phase, oh no, sorry, it's Lux actually, phase 3. Right. DK, you back? Zinir, start us off. Phase 1, what's the major things that happen? Okay, so just to quickly recap on that, you're going to get 2 types of mechanics to remove a raid-wide debuff. This debuff must be removed or you're stunned and you're deleted from the raid on the intermission. You either get hit by a beam, which 2 players are marked up at random at separate points, or at one point and then a second time at another point, or you stand in the breath of the fire. You only need to touch the fire breath and step out of it. If you all step into the fire breath and stay stepped in the fire breath, you'll get killed by the fire breath. Kind of logical. So 1 hit, removes debuff, move out it. The way we're going to do it is group 1 and 3 will get hit by the fire breath first, so that we're not getting everyone done at once. And then the second fire breath, whenever the mechanic comes around a second time, group 2 and 4 will get it done. If, however, you have had the the beam hit you, you do not need to go into the fire breath. Does that make a bit of sense so far? Don't stand near the big swirlies that Zir spoke about. There'll be big swirly pools on the ground. They pulsate a radius damage. Stay outside the bloody radius of it. It's a simple mechanic. Just avoid it. That takes us to the intermission. We'll come back to the intermission later. Who was up for phase 2? Slimming? I think it was you. What was it? Oh no, sorry, it's Bragged. Bragged, are you with us? Push to top. Did we lose Bragged? Yeah, I know Lux is offline just now. No, not a word, mate. Yes. No, just phase 2 itself. I'll explain the intermission part. Right, so the intermission part that I'm going to do is when you get sent into the other realm, there's little white markers all around the floor. I think only half of us get sent down into it and the other half stays up. I could be wrong on this, but I think that's what happens. You won't see everyone else, but run about, pick up the little white markers until you get 10 stacks. That gives you a high movement speed, and I believe it's haste that you pick up with it as well. There's 3 swirlies on the ground. You must run over the 3 swirlies to come back into this reality. You can run over, yeah, there's sort of big swirlies. They're not massive, but they're a good size. So pick up 10 stacks. You can run over 2 of the swirlies before picking up the 10. It's like 10 little souls that are floating about the place. Pick them up and then run over the last one to come back into this reality. Do not kick the boss when you come out of the reality. He'll be doing a big long cast. We want to get to him and start DPSing him because it's free DPS, free mechanics. There's nothing happening apart from him casting, and I will kick it at the end. Everyone happy on that bit? The reason I do it is because I've got Avenger shield and everything that pops off anyway, so I will stand back and wait before chucking a shield at him. Gibby, do you want to explain the bombs part? No, phase 2. Where'd you go with them? Well, I know myself, but I'm asking. The thing that allows you to go down is you'll see like circles falling from the sky. I could be wrong on this, but that's the things that you need to pick up in order to get down into the void, is it not? Oh, right, yeah. Is Lux back yet? Excuse me. We're not going to explain phase 3 yet, because we're going to end up doing this a few times. Phase 3 is actually the hardest phase out of all. So what we're going to do is we're going to run phase 1 and phase 2, so that you get an idea of what's happening. Phase 1 is really simple. Phase 2, you get an idea of what the void realm looks like at the start of it, and then throughout it, you'll start to get an idea of the bombs and stuff. If we get to phase 3, which we should be able to, we'll explain it on the fly. The basic part is do not stand in front of the boss. Categorically, do not stand in front of the boss. Ideally, yeah, because he does a front claw mechanic. Just swipe, and if it hits people, it causes weird, huge spike damage. Tanks need to run out and detonate the bombs away from the raid. You'll get a thing shouting you like run out. Big run out. It's a massive big bubble. Right, onto the platform. You don't even need to jump, you can just walk off. Everybody jumps. Yay. See, short legs can even walk off. Gibby. Right. Somebody keep an eye out for Lux coming back on, but I'm going to take him out of this pool. Just so that we can sort of massage the numbers. So group 1 and 3 gets hit by the first breath of fire. Group 2 and 4 hit by the second breath of fire. Stand out the fire after it goes. We're going to come round from this side because we want to bait the swirly onto this side. clockwise as always. Warrior buff. Right.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bomb incoming.
Everyone move. So that we
AOE
can, like,
incoming.
squiggly thing. Okay, back a little bit just to get away for that pulse.
Power
Defensive.
infusion. Guardian spirit. Taunted.
You just stand there. It's fine. So the
Breath
two that have been marked
incoming.
up gets hit on their own. Group 1 into the blazing fire. Takes off the debuff, back out it. You don't stay standing in it.
Taunt boss.
Mana tide.
So the two with lines on them stand to the side. Group 2 is going to hit the fire.
Defensive.
Whoop.
Bomb incoming.
Taunted.
Breath
Tighten back.
incoming.
The group 2 needs to be in that fire. Just one hit by it. That's all you need. Don't stay standing in it. And stay away from the swirlies that are exploding at the back.
Taunt boss.
The folk with lines. Don't run about with them. Just stand to the side. Let the folk get out the way of them. That's it. It's easy.
AOE incoming.
Ancestral guidance.
This is the AoE
Divine.
damage phase.
Healing tide.
Right, intermission.
Stack high. Stack high. Teleport on you.
So pick up the little souls, count the debuff stacks. You want to get 10 of them, and then run through the big circle to get brought back to reality. And back up. Start DPSing the boss, just go for it. Just don't kick it. Slim it to come up.
Power infusion.
Everyone go.
Phase 2. Breath incoming.
Watch the cone. There's ads got to spawn right behind them. AoE them down.
Watch your step.
Out the swirl.
Bomb incoming.
So somebody do the bomb part.
Taunt boss.
You need to go all the way out, PK. You're going to explode.
Salvation.
And then come back in.
Guardian spirit.
Into the
Defensive.
void realm.
Stack high. Teleport on you.
I'll end up and sit down. Here.
Breath incoming. Run out. Watch your step.
Yeah, you go to the...
Taunt boss.
I mean, the RNG is going to...
Bomb incoming.
So
Defensive.
when you get the bomb... Yeah,
Taunted.
Stack high.
Failure. Expected.
so that's us got to at least experience phase 1 and some of phase 2. Thank you. Don't worry about, I was going to say, don't worry about putting feasts and stuff down, because this is about learning the mechanics. This will be a pull and wipe phase, and pull and wipe. So you've seen what the beams look like when it gets put out. When you get it on you, it's important you stand still so that other people can get out the way of it. The cone of fire, literally run into it, run out it, make sure that the debuff comes off you. The debuff starts off as a purple wolf howling a moon. When it comes off, it looks like a red flame thing. So if you've got the purple howling wolf thing, you need to remove the debuff, touch the fire, run out. In phase 2, when the high damage phases come out, on the second one, we're going to use anti-magic zone. We'll start off with frosties. And then in the next one, we'll use DKs. Everyone must be inside it. It's in phase 2, the high damage phase. Yeah, he's got, I can see it. For the first high damage phase in phase 1, Omega, I want you to use your Divine Hymn, I think it is. And then Xena, if you pick up the second high damage phase, which is just before we come out of it, which will be Healing Tide, I think. The second high damage phase on phase 1. So we're going to pull them around here. The fire's going to spawn at this side, and then we'll move around ever so slightly. Just want to bait it.
Bomb incoming.
Then we've baited it, now we
AOE
move around.
incoming.
Everyone stays away from it. Once he finishes casting,
Power
we'll go
infusion.
a bit more. Stay away for the exploding fire.
Taunt boss.
Line stand still, everyone else
Breath
gets out.
incoming.
Put one into the fire. All you need to do is touch it and that's it.
Defensive.
What?
Taunted.
Line stand still, just spread out ever so slightly, you're overlapping each other. So, if your debuff's been removed, you don't need to stand in the fire.
Taunt boss. Bomb incoming.
Just move
Breath
around.
incoming.
So groups 2 and 4 in the flame. Take the debuff off.
Mana Tide.
Move them round away for the explosions.
Tranquilizing Shot.
Defensive.
Swap.
Taunted.
AOE incoming.
Divine Hymn.
Divine Hymn. Ancestral Guidance.
Use cookies if you've not already done so. You're going low. So it's out it. Pick up souls. Portal back up. Quicker you get back up, quicker you can start dealing
Stack
damage.
high. Stack high. Teleport on you.
Most of you should be back out by now.
Phase 2. Breath incoming.
Watch out the cone.
Watch your step.
So
Bomb
that's the
incoming.
voids. So somebody pick up the bomb that's spawning.
Defensive.
Somebody pick up the other bomb. Go into the void
Taunted.
realm. There's a bomb up. There we go.
Run out.
I need to move out. No, just me.
Taunt boss.
Somebody kick those ads at the back.
Power infusion.
Breath
Guardian
incoming.
Spirit.
Watch the breath. The ads spawn at his back. Get the ads. DK need to go out.
Watch your step.
Right over us all. Too late. It's already went.
Defensive.
Yes. Exploded right
Taunted.
over everyone.
Run out.
I now go out. 3, 2, 1.
Bomb incoming.
4 bombs.
Taunt boss.
Second bomb. Somebody grab the second bomb. Went to the void realm with it. Go and stand in the big purple swirl.
Watch your step. Defensive.
Taunted.
Right, everyone into the middle of the room. Stay in the middle of the room. He's got to pull and
Run
push you
out.
about. Oh, you got to decide. Don't come near me.
Mana tide.
Phase 3.
You're going to get a big circle in a second. Everyone runs out it.
Watch your step.
Yeah, everyone out. And then we bring the boss into the centre of the room. We'll start learning the rest of the mechanics as we go through it. Bring him into the very centre.
Taunt boss.
So soak first. Everyone soak, don't run out
Bomb
with it.
incoming.
Slimming, you need to bring it into soak.
Ancestral guidance. Spirit link. Salvation. Power infusion.
There's a bomb right over the top
Watch
of
your
you.
step.
So this is the point you hide behind pillars. Yeah. Who was it at the bomb on phase 3? Yeah. We're going to do one more pull, because then that'll take us to the halfway point. Did Lux make it back on? Right, so most of us are getting through phase 1 and phase 2. I don't think anybody died at the end of phase 1, which means that you've all got rid of your debuff. Gibby get deleted at the start of phase 2. Him. What is happening in phase 2? So the bombs were getting taken off the platform, they're just a bit slow going. Yeah. I mean, before the bomb detonates, like, if you use immunity spells, in fact, probably the better people to do it is Bragged and Frosty, because you've got immunities. What else was happening? I think that's about the main bits. That tidies up phase 2. Phase 3, you've seen how it starts. There's that intermission. He flies off the platform, big circle appears, you all move out it, 3 ads come in, kill the ads. We want to try and bait the voids by the time we get to phase 3, which means that we want to bait them. Yeah, so where the skull marker is. And then the second one is over this side, isn't it? So people want to stack in around the skull. The tanks are 180 degrees away from the skull. Yous all then help soak. It'll be soak on the red X first, isn't it? No, it's soak on skull first because the winds go. Yeah. Yeah. Right, everyone quite happy where we've got to. What's the swirls that fall out the sky again? The little ones. The void realm in phase 3. Yeah, so again, it's a good time to use immunity spells though whilst you're stacking it. It's about running the mechanics in this in phase 3. It's not about the damage, it's really about just running the mechanics, running the strat. And don't come onto the same side that the boss is facing. Tanks need to make big bold moves out of the raid with the bomb. Because the ring of it is the size of that centre circle. That's how big that bomb phase is on phase 2. Phase 3 doesn't show a ring, but you still move away because it will still explode. Right. It's on my DBM. Mine shouts at me to move out. Yeah, put it back to first day because then I know who's who. Right. Yeah, it was one. We need priest buff, warrior buff. Yep. So that's the major change from phase 2 to phase 3 is it uses swirlies that drop for the sky to pick them up to get into the void. DK, you good? Okay. Like I said, this was going to be a learning night. This isn't an expected kill night. This is, we have got to the final boss. We're getting to see how it works. We'll learn it. As of next week, we start on heroic, and this gets done on a Sunday from now on.
Five, four,
So we're going to bait the
Three.
first one back here.
2, 1.
Everyone gets ready
Bomb
to move
incoming.
out. Everyone out.
AOE incoming.
Out the second one. You should all be further away from those explosions that are pulsating.
Ancestral
Omega, you're
guidance.
taking damage, stood where you are.
Defensive.
Well,
Taunted.
you get the lines on, you
Breath
stand still.
incoming.
Put one into the fire. Once it's off, keep moving about it.
Taunt boss.
Power infusion. Guardian spirit.
Line, stand still.
Defensive. Bomb incoming. Breath incoming.
Taunted.
Put 2 and 4 into flames. Just touch it and then out it. Pull them back because there's that pulsating damage. Keep pulling them back.
Taunt boss.
Mana tide.
Line, stand still. We're
AOE
about to
incoming.
the next phase. This is Omega.
Divine.
Stress, you can use your cookie to stay up. So you start taking
Stack
the
high.
debuff. This is what's going to send you into the void realm.
Stack high. Teleport on you.
Nice and quickly. Pick up your 10 little barkers.
Guardian spirit.
3 DPS. Ranger shield going in.
Phase 2.
Gale of the universe.
Breath incoming.
So out the breath. Pick up the adds.
Watch your step.
There's the point for the void realm.
Bomb incoming.
First bomb's at the back, next to Bragg.
Interrupt 1. Taunt boss.
DK, you've got the bomb on you, she'll be heading out, or you should be. And it's starting to drain on you. There it is.
Defensive.
Swap. Should be back in now.
Taunted. Symbol of hope.
Breath incoming.
Watch the
Run
breath.
out.
Adds a spawn at the back of it.
Power infusion.
Watch
That's a
your
different bomb.
step. Interrupt boss.
Stun the adds.
Guardian spirit.
DK, you'll be moving out in a second. Should be out.
Bomb incoming.
The bomb's spawning.
Defensive.
Swap.
Taunted.
First bomb's up.
Run out. Watch your step.
Don't come close to me. Phase 3. Intermission. Stay close to the centre. You get pushed and pulled.
Mana tide.
Remember, we want to bait on the skull, so everyone sort of stacks around that skull after we move out the circle. Those swirlies that are coming down
Watch
is how
your
you get
step.
into the void realm.
Defensive. Taunt boss.
Nobody should be behind me. There's a soak. People need to help soak it.
Run out.
Divine him.
Swap.
Taunted.
Face them outwards. Now you need to line this out and hide behind the
Watch your
pillars.
step.
Behind the pillars.
Healing tide.
Taunt boss.
You'll probably need to go out now. With the bomb on you.
Power in Guardian Spirit.
It needs to be tanked
Watch
in
your
this
step.
area. Just need to stay away from me.
Interrupt 1. Bomb incoming.
First bomb dropping over this side.
Defensive.
I've got nothing there.
Interrupt 2.
If the bombs don't go, or if you're inside of the tanks, or near the tanks whenever they detonate, it kills you. Or you get blown off the platform. Right, everyone hit the release button. And head for the door. In fact, actually repair before you go out.
Let's have a wait.
I was about to say your partner. Yeah. We won't a second. I'm just waiting to. I just want to quickly run over a couple of things before folk disappear. I'm just waiting for folk to stop talking so I can do it. Right. Is everyone happy on the first phase of the last boss? Lines, stand still. We take turn to get into the fire. Touch the fire, out the fire, drops the debuff. Don't stand the shit. The boss gets kited away from the fire pools and stays away from the fire pools. Everyone stays away from the fire pools because they pulsate. Phase 1 in a nutshell. All happy? Phase 2. So the start of phase 2 is the intermission part. Run around, pick up your souls, run across the circles. You can run over the first 2 circles at any point. Try and get as many of the stacks up to 10. Come out of the void realm. Go to the DPS and the boss. I clout it on an Avenger's shield. And that ends the intermission and starts phase 2. Phase 2, it will do a big frontal cone, drops adds at his arse. We pick the adds up. Those adds must be kicked, ideally as an AoE stun. It's a good one for warlocks. And we focus them down Bombs drop on the platform. You stand the big purple swirlies, which takes you to the Void Realm. Detonate your bombs. Tanks run out to the side, detonate their bombs. When you go out to the side, you also mitigate to reduce the damage that you take from the bomb. Back in, tank swap and all that kind of good stuff. And it just becomes that same mechanic all the way through until we get to phase 3. Boss flies off platform, into the sky. You go in towards the centre, you get pushed and pulled a little bit. Boss comes onto the platform, big circle in the middle, run out, head towards the skull side, because we want to bait on the skull side for putting the void circles down, or the big purple circles. Once we get them on, tanks go 180 degrees, you stay on that side so that you can do this soak mechanic close to the skull marker that was floating on the platform. We then switch to bait after that circle onto the red marker. The boss gets turned 90 degrees. Tanks are running in and out, but he must stay in the middle of the room. That's the important part, in the middle at all times. There'll also then be the hidey bit where you hide behind the pillars. You'll see winds coming across the screen. There's a set of lines that you can see that you must then stand in, or you get yanked off the platform with the winds. And that's all that keeps happening. Bombs fall, and the little circles on the ground, you stand in those in order to get sent to the Void Realm, detonate your bomb, come back up. Do not stand in front of the boss, because he does a claw mechanic which will just absolutely rip you to shreds. I've also got a funny feeling that those claw mechanics deals raid-wide damage if somebody gets hit by it. I could be wrong, but I think it is raid-wide, or the tanks must mitigate it because it shares damage with the rest of the raid. There's something about it. Can't remember. Everybody quite happy on that bit? Everyone understand where we're sitting with the last boss? Ish. Like I said, we are now going to move on to Heroic. Make sure you've run your drop optimizers. We'll take a 10-minute break before we're going to do Heroic. Sunday will become the normal raid, and it will be a full push of normal raid on Sunday. So don't worry about how much we get done tonight. Sunday is now going to switch to our big push night for normal. Get through, and if we get to the last boss, happy days. If not, we're already picking up after the first boss anyway. All good? All happy? I am going to just switch the raid over to... yes, max upgrade on Heroic. So it's on Heroic. Everyone come inside. Yeah. So everyone step inside. If you pick up the quest, it means that if you ever get to the point that you've killed Echo 3 times on Heroic, we'll have a skip for Echo. Or a skip to Echo. And 10-minute break. I've not started it, mate. I've not even done Heroic yet. I've not had a chance. Right, I'll back in a minute. Back, for anybody that's watching the stream, we're about to start on heroic raid. And that'll give us the start of this. Sunday we're going back to doing normal though. We're just on a break, we've got just under 5 minutes left. So this will start to be the sort of test of where we're at with things. And to start to see the heroic mechanics now coming into play, what the difference is between the normals and the heroics. Thanks for opinion. I'm pretty sure the first boss, the main mechanic is that you can kite over, because you couldn't. You must kite the spawns over the top of it. How's everybody getting on? Minute left, or just over a minute. Is Elf UI got rid of their client? Because I couldn't find the client on their website. And what it has is a Curse Forge Breaker or something it's called. Or the WoW Up. I couldn't find the desktop client.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Yeah, it's that you use, but I couldn't even see the client for it. Anyway. I think they're slowly migrating it out. There's a GitHub link that takes you to a new thing. Gibby, are you in game? There's WoW Up was one of the things that was getting looked at, but Curse Forge has managed to stay in it, and they've moved. Yeah, that's the new desktop client that I've seen. I don't know how it works. I know you've got to have the directory, the execution file, in the same folder as your WoW execution. So it's not even in your add-ons folder. Right. Gibby, are you back? Just I don't already check, but nobody seemed to. Well, everyone apart from you. Right, let's start doing the first trash pack. Why not use knockback?
Power infusion.
Catapults.
Should you suggest all
There we go. Assist me. We went through many iterations. This is one of our more successful attempts. While imperfect, it will be more than enough to destroy these interlopers. They're still out there.
Guardian Spirit.
I wasn't going to do that part, Gibby. I was going to leave them. Banner. Right, it's really important this time that you place the swirlies along that back ledge and kite the beams through the swirly. From right, the beam does not get taken off the platform until it has been kited through the swirly. So it will keep chasing you and keep chasing you until you kite it through it. Bear in mind, it leaves a trail of shit all over the place. For that reason, the raid will form up at the yellow marker, with the exception of the tanks. We will kite them round a bit. And we will then gradually move the boss across the platform, so that it creates a bit of space for you to put more swirlies down, leaving a small gap to kite more beams through it, Move the boss forward again, and it keeps going. Everyone happy? Put down. Have to eat up. So, Phil and Slim come and eat. Slim, you with us? Gibby, flasks. Make sure that you bring plenty of food and flasks and everything with you. Right, everyone go and form up at the yellow marker. Try and stay within the healing circle as well, so that you don't stress out Zanir. Try and stay close to it. And always return back to this side of the room. Like, don't start finding yourselves moving further and further round. This boss doesn't do a tail swipe.
Five,
Yep.
4, 3, 2, 1.
Bloodlust.
Bloodlust.
Defensive.
And my combat potions as well.
Haunted.
The
Power
swirlies
infusion.
on the markers.
Pushback incoming.
You've got to get knocked back, so stay away from the swirly.
Taunt boss.
Pull them over this way a little bit. So beams go through the swirlies.
Watch your step.
Mana
Watch a
charge.
cone.
Guardian spirit.
Defensive.
Swap.
Haunted.
Watch your step.
Move out the shit.
Pushback incoming.
Knock back.
Ancestral guidance.
Taunt boss.
Symbol of hope.
So you get the beams on you, kite it through the fire pools.
Watch your step.
Watch the cone.
Defensive.
Swap.
Taunted.
Rush to the back. Leave a little gap, don't overlap with the
Pushback
other
in.
ones.
Healing
Knock
tide.
back.
Taunt boss.
Divine him.
Watch your step.
So the active swirls are the ones you must kite the beams through. The ones that are still swirling. So there's one over at the skull, one near purple, and one in the middle.
Watch your step.
You've got to take it through the active swirls.
Defensive.
Taunted. Guardian spirit.
Stress it needs to go through that swirl at the
Pushback
back,
incoming.
or it will just keep chasing you. Where the skull is at the back of the room.
Defensive.
Salvation.
Who stacks killing me? CR. TK.
Watch your step.
Frontal.
Power infusion.
Defensive.
To the back a bit.
Pushback.
Taunted.
See how the swirls are active and they're actively turning? That's the ones that you've got to take the beams through. You get the beam on you through
Watch
an
your
active
step.
swirl. Yeah, it's the RNG thing because people's dead.
Taunt boss. Watch your step.
Ancestral guidance. Mana tide.
Target you defensive. Pushback incoming.
Yours. Does everyone see the difference in the swirls on the ground?
Laser defensive. Run.
Stress, can you see the swirls that are actively swirling?
Watch your step.
Yeah, so you need to kite it through it. So when
Push
it gets
back
placed down, you then kite it all the way through it. Yes. It's why we want to place them at one side of the room and then gradually move them forward of each other, leaving a small gap. Now we've got to what, 32%? So the way that the AoE burst comes out, all that shit all over the floor, it's 80, 60 and 40%. He basically sheds his scales and causes the AoE damage to come out. So if you watch for the other mechanics it's happening, like sort of the frontal or kiting the stuff or putting the swirlies out, you watch his health, you'll see when to sort of lay off on DPS for a couple of seconds, so that we don't end up overlapping mechanics, because they are fixed points in time that cannot be changed. The mechanics that happens throughout it, they all are in time schedules. We trigger the scales getting shed specifically at 80, 60 and 40. Which means you overlap mechanics. Is this a square room or is it rectangular? Yeah, it's as wide as it is long. Yeah. Yeah. Is everyone quite happy that you need to go further over to that side, drop the first set of swirls, kite the beam through the swirl, otherwise it will just chase you for an eternity until it finally catches you and kills you. And start making your way out to where it's you need to go and bait it beforehand. Preempt the mechanic, know where you're going. Yeah, so there should be a small gap. If you look, I've left the markers here so that you can get in behind. Probably that one needs to move up there. So they go along that line to begin with. So you can get in behind them. And then the next row of them should be about there. Does that make sense to everyone? Right, let's do it this way. 1, 2, 3. Yeah. It depends actually on the size of the raid group. On our size, it will be 3. There might be a 4th one periodically because we are 1 over. There's a 20% chance of it. So that's Yeah, stick it on the end. So the first wave, put on the rear set of markers. Second wave, where the the second line is, and it just sort of creeps forward periodically. And also, if you 3 people get marked up, 3 people run to the back. If there's 2 you stand at the same bit, one is moved to another marker. Because then, when the people get the beams on them, they know where they're running to. Everyone happy?
Five,
Bring it
Four.
back.
3,
Yes.
2, 1.
Taunt boss.
The first lot folk come out. That wasn't what I wanted. Don't put
Push
teaming
that
gates
in.
down, please.
Defensive.
Taunted. Power infusion. Guardian spirit.
Watch your step.
Watch your frontal.
Taunt
Mana
boss.
So you need to take it through the swirly stress. That's it.
Pushback incoming. Defensive.
Ancestral guidance.
Watch your step.
Bloodlust.
Bloodlust.
Watch your step.
Go on. Right, we've got to bring the boss forward a bit.
Taunt boss.
Give you a bit of space for the next set. That's RNG of 4.
Pushback incoming.
Healing tide.
Defensive.
Oh,
Taunted. Divine hand.
Watch your step. Watch your
drop them in
step.
behind them. The riffs are about to come in.
Symbol of hope.
Taunt boss. Pushback incoming.
Well, that's way far out. Somebody's going to have to run all the way to the very back to get that now. Somebody be aware if you get a beam on you, there's one over at skull.
Defensive.
Taunted.
Watch your step.
Go on. Bring them forward, keep
Taunt
in
boss.
space.
Pushback incoming.
Again.
Watch your step.
Ancestral guidance. Spirit link. Salvation.
So all the riffs are up
Defensive.
to one side.
Taunted.
Watch your step.
Go on.
Pushback incoming.
Put my knockbacks, make sure there's a bit of space before you get knocked into fire.
Taunt boss. Laser on you. Run.
There's many people dead. Right,
Watch your
wiper.
step.
Just go and stand in shit and die. Folk can release and run in because you can repair on the way back. Boss takes 26 to spawn in anyway. So, the thing I could see starting to happen there was everything was getting thrown off to the side rather than behind them. And some people were putting swirlies right on the back line rather than edging it forward, which meant that people had even further to run out in order to then get back into the fight. They need to be progressively moving forward bit by bit, which also means that yes, the boss needs to be moving progressively forward bit by bit. Right. Good. Druid buff, warrior buff. So, first line, second line, and then the third line will go in front of that line, and it just gradually moves forward. Don't put them in the corners, don't put them at the sides, because we might need to use the sides if we end up moving it further across the field. Remember, use your healing potions, use health stones. It shouldn't just be health stones, it should be healing and health. You've got both, use them. You should all be sort of stacked close to the red marker or the purple marker once we pull. So it's in the middle of the room, so you're inside the healing circle, making it easier for you to stay alive, less space to run out.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Defensive.
Taunted.
So onto the back line,
Pushback incoming.
be quicker with it.
Taunt boss.
Guardian Spirit. Power in Manatai.
Watch your
Force,
step.
stress, use of the beams.
Ancestral Guidance.
Defensive.
Taunted.
So it should be on the second row now.
Pushback incoming.
Watch your knockback, you don't get lined up in the flames.
Taunt boss.
Now we'll move the boss forward a bit.
Watch your step.
After this kite, we'll do
Watch your step.
watch the frontal.
Divine Him.
Defensive.
Bloodlust.
Taunted.
Just drop it, not all the way back. Come closer to the boss.
Pushback incoming.
Watch your knockback, you don't end up in it. Pull the boss forward a bit.
Taunt boss. Watch your step.
Symbol of Hope. Healing Tide. Salvation.
Watch your step.
Go on.
Defensive.
Swap.
Guardian Spirit.
So just along the back line here, there's an extra one that's RNG, don't worry. It happens.
Pushback incoming.
Pulling forward a bit. Bit more.
Taunt boss.
Let me cook it. No.
Watch your step.
Gateway.
Don't put gateways down.
Spirit link.
Defensive.
Swap.
Taunted.
Watch your step.
A big damage spike.
Power ancestral guidance.
Pushback incoming.
Once you're knocked back, you don't get knocked into flames. Pull them forward a bit. That'll do.
Taunt boss.
Mana tile.
Watch your step.
Cone.
Defensive.
Swap.
Taunted.
Pushback incoming. Taunt boss. Laser on you. Run.
Yeah, and
Watch your
slam
step.
and run into the pool I was going for. Swipe it.
Pushback incoming.
It's getting there. It's just some of the pools are getting dropped a bit further forward than it needs. The boss is now starting to move forward as you're moving forward. As soon as you see that you're going to get the beam on, you start moving away, start identifying the swirly that you're going for. Make it clear so that folk can see what one you're going for. It was, mate. Good. I need warrior buffs and priest buffs. Priest buff. Priest buff. There we go. Right. We'll do Bloodlust on pool this time.
Five, four, three, two, one.
Lust.
Defensive.
Taunted. Power infusion.
Pushback incoming.
What's your knockback? You need to take him off me. Look, I'm taking
Mana
damage now.
taunted.
Taunt boss.
The beam's out.
Guardian
Watch your
spirit.
step.
What's your cone?
Watch your step. Defensive.
Swap.
Taunted.
Pushback incoming.
Watch so you don't get knocked into flames. Use your cookies if you need to.
Taunt boss. Watch your step.
Frontal.
Defensive.
Swap.
Taunted. Ancestral guidance.
Pushback incoming. Taunt boss. Watch your step.
Don't get hit by stuff.
Healing tide.
Stay behind the boss so that you can get healed by the healers.
Watch your step.
Frontal.
Defensive.
Swap.
Taunted.
You might need to do it again because I had to use shield. Pull them forward a bit.
Pushback incoming.
Divine One. Spirit Link.
Taunt boss.
Salvation. Gateway. Power infusion.
Watch your step.
Frontal. Should I shoot your cookie?
Defensive.
Taunted. Symbol of hope.
Watch your step.
Pull them forward a bit.
Pushback incoming.
Pull them forward.
Mana tide.
Taunt boss. Watch your step. Defensive.
Guardian Spirit.
Swap.
Taunted.
Pushback incoming.
And
So they're
Ancestral
starting to get
guidance.
spread all over the place now. There's still space behind them
Taunt
and
boss.
underneath them.
Watch your step. Target you. Defensive. Pushback incoming.
Taunted.
Taunt boss. Watch your
Healing
step.
tide.
Target you. Pushback incoming. Defensive.
Taunted.
Laser on you. Run. Defensive.
Swap.
Watch
Taunted.
your step.
Spirit Link.
Went to spirit link.
Target you. Pushback incoming. Taunt boss. Laser on you. Run. Defensive.
We've got more defensives.
Watch your step.
Still stacked together.
Mana tide.
Target you.
Ancestral
Pushback
guidance.
Just box cover on it.
defensive,
There's a CR as well. It only just come up though. 4%. Right, everyone hit the release button. Right, before folks start disappearing, we'll do a quick running debrief. So we'll start off with stress, your feedback points. I mean, that is your first time back. You've been with us since, season 3, I think? So it will take a little bit. Get yourself into the LFR. Sunday we'll be doing normal raid. A good chance to learn the basic mechanics. This is obviously moving into slightly harder content. Bragg? DK? Phil? You can type it into raid so that everyone can see it. Frosty? Gibby? Shy? Shy? Slimming? Zinnia? Omega? No, because that was your old one for last year. Right, my closing part is on Discord, in the second section under notifications, there is a part that says combat logs. The logs from tonight's fight is in there. It has got the first pull, first kill on the first one, 3 pulls on Echo, 3 pulls on the last boss, and 4 pulls on this one. Please look at Warcraft logs, watch replays of stuff, which you can do throughout it. Look at Whitefest for the mechanics that you'll need to polish off and watch out for more. And use the WoW Analyzer to see is there anything within your rotation, whether you're healing or DPSing or tanking. It's not 100% accurate, but it will give a good indicator of what you'll need to look at. You need to start doing a little bit of research into what you're making mistakes on. I can point out things on the fly that I spot, but I can't spot everything, and I don't have time to go through everyone's Warcraft logs because I'm self-criticising myself to find out what I need to work on. The only way you will get better is by learning what you're standing in that you shouldn't be, finding out what you're doing well at to keep doing well at it, and how to polish off your rotations to build your DPS up. People's DPS should be now starting to come up pretty high and maintaining a high level throughout. Especially now that some of these are starting to get tier sets from the new season. Like it says, we will come back in to do raiding on Sunday. We've already farmed LFR, both wings, that's currently active, so it will not be happening this Sunday. It will be normal raid. It will be a hard push to do the left wing and the right wing, and if we've got time, we'll go and play about at the back end of the raid and play a bit more with the last boss. And that's the way that things will kind of start going, except from when the back end of the LFR comes out, we'll do that first, and then we'll do the rest of the raid on normal. Until we get to a point where on Wednesdays we're pushing heroic raid and we're getting deeper into it, and then when we discover that we don't need to be doing the front end of normal, we only need the back end on normal, we'll skip it, do the last couple of bosses to get the gear that we need for people, and then come back in and have a second raid night on Sundays for the rest of it. Everybody quite happy with that? So it's a bit of progression. Sundays is now where we start picking up a social event, but it starts to become a bit more a progressive thing to pick up the items that we're missing for folk to be able to help us push the Wednesday raid. Wednesday raid's always the big raid. Keys tomorrow, keys on Monday, and hopefully you've had a bit of fun. Thank you everyone for coming along tonight. I disbanded the group, not kicked. Disband. I'll kick you if you want. Look, it's quite easy. Let's watch. Right, I'm going up to King's Landing. Actually, I'm going to jump up a channel. For those that are still watching along, my vault reward this week is... it's a bit special. For anybody that hasn't been paying attention, I have got a ring from last season. It was from the last boss, the first boss on Mythic of last season. I got it actually pretty early into playing about with Mythic raids. But it's so bloody overpowered that even this year, my vault rewards, which I've got 441, which is 5 out of 5 on the hero track, it's the highest upgrade that you can get, isn't even any good to me because there's a ring somewhere in amongst all this. Wait to find it. I think yeah, that one there, which has got a lot of haste and a lot of crit on it, to replace my other ring, which is upgradable, and then I can upgrade that ring. Now, that one drops haste, but by the time I finish upgrading it, it's actually pretty good. But it's the fact that my other ring's just ridiculous. It's just unbelievable. Anyway, that's that. I will look at my vault reward, I think, tomorrow afternoon at some point. Tomorrow is Thursday. I will be on in the afternoon. I will be playing with yours. I'll be doing mythic keys for that wants to come along and do some keys. Then yeah, that'll be happening in the afternoon. Why did you put Fury? I don't care if you're Fury spec or not. If I wanted the word Fury, I would ask. It's just main. Delete that note. So yeah, playing with yours in the afternoon. I don't know what key level I'll have. I'm going to ask for a replacement key, so that I can see. I think it's a 16 key I've got, which is slightly higher than what I'm looking for. I won't be doing 15s because I need more fragments in order to upgrade stuff.
Always a pleasure.
My key is a 16 Uldaman. Throw that in the bag. Just check what's in my bag. Yeah. I might need to pick up some flasks and stuff tomorrow. Anyway, everything's updated. Everything's ready to go. And I will be on tomorrow. And I'll decide after I've done a couple of runs what we're going to do about the vault reward. And what upgrades we're going to do. Anyway, I will catch you all later. Hopefully you have a good night. If you haven't already done so, jump over to Instagram, hit the follow button. I'm going to put some pictures up. There's ones for Zenir, actually, I'm going to be putting up. I need a bot that links Discord. I'll set that all up tomorrow. Post will come out roughly tomorrow afternoon though. Anyway, enjoy the rest of your night, ladies and gents, and see you tomorrow.